and we're going to be getting this underway. But ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side of the Haunted Mines in the blue trunks, it is Playing with Pain is Pain. And in the top lane, we have Geller on the Tychus, Pain on the Kerrigan, Viperino on the Tyrael. And heading up there now, it is Luvi on the Brightwing. And in the bot lane, it is the new Bakery on the Falstad.
Let's get baked in the bottom lane as Ramus on Tassadar, Shashka playing on Artis, Stitches on Dizzy, Vala on Admiration, and finally Bayanu playing on Nazebo. And I just realized that I was saying the exact opposite of what was happening.
Nope, that's fine.
The heroes aren't playing the players. The players are playing the heroes.
Yeah, PPP playing it smart, not even bothering to do the standard brush check here. Instead, playing it safe, heading straight to their lane so that they don't get caught by Stitches. And there's some very aggro gank spots here being fought about by Narval. But they're thinking about it. They currently don't have anyone at the top lane, but Tastar now going to head up there. He's going to start clearing that wave. But he's going to miss out on maybe one minion's worth of XP. Nope, gets there just in time.
Yeah, they probably have it completely timed out. So it's Ramus against the world. And in the bottom lane, it's Bakery who's trying to get baked against the world. Interesting move here by Sashka, Dizzy, and Bionob. Usually you see that someone is going to go in. Now they're onto Pain. Pain, he has nowhere to run. Does manage... Oh, the hook beautifully onto Pain. And then the Zebo actually locks up Pain for a little bit longer. Now they're onto Bionob. He has to be very careful. And Pain barely survives this one. So what I was saying, usually you see a 4-man push in the lane your golem is in. But in this case, looks like the guys from Narval don't really want to go for it.
Yep, Geller being engaged upon here, but the Stitches hook misses, and in fact, we do see the Arthurs go down. Shashka, bit too ham there, just went too far in, and the survivability from this PvP comp was a bit too much. And while this is happening, Bakery is now having a lot less trouble than he would otherwise be with this bot lane, but Admiration still doing a great job of pushing this up, thanks to his hatred stacks.
Yeah, it should be very easy for Admiration. He just wants to shove it in a little bit as the team continues to fight in the top lane. Luffy, he's running out of combat. And in 8 seconds we'll be going into the mines. You can see the team of Narval. They're getting ready to rock and roll. Well, although rock and roll wasn't quite there. Admiration's forced to back away from this one. They're going into the bottom lane. Admiration was like, I want to go in, but immediately vaults out of there.
This does, however, give Narval a bit of a head start in the mines. They're going to start gathering skulls and get as many as they can. But Bakery, Luvi, Paid, and Viperino all instantly going on to Shashka. Can they pick him off again? He does go down. That's 2 times they picked him off. Geller is holding back Dizzy and Remus, but now they're being engaged upon. There's the grenade. There's the overdrive. Viperino getting a slow onto Dizzy. They get pulled in, but the stun does not go down. Dizzy is now being chased. Remus has been let go, and Dizzy does go down. But while all that was happening, we already see 59 skulls in favour of Narval. So PvP, they're going to grab this golem just to try and even it up a bit. But Narval, they did lose 2 people and now a little bit behind in XP. But they're now in lanes. They're now taking mercs, trying to get that XP advantage back.
Yeah, this is pretty much the advantage that they were going for. I mean, they used Remus as well as Dizzy to get a little bit of time advantage, allowing them to take all the small camps. And those small camps are worth more than the large golem. As a result, well, this is happening right now. They have a bigger golem, and they're now looking to lock up Playing with Pain. They're in a lot of trouble. So much damage being put down already onto Sashka. Sashka has to be a little bit careful that he doesn't go a little bit too ham. Bakery forced to back off.
Viperino. Oh, the shield, the clutch shield, able to keep him alive. And PvP going to be clearing up this Bruiser camp. Golems have just spawned. Now PvP. Question is, are they going to defend or are they going to push with their own golem? Dizzy in a very interesting position, looking to maybe try and catch out Pain, but they are hanging back near their wall, playing it very safe. And we're seeing quite a few members of PvP head down to this bot lane to clear up the wave, get some XP. They're still a bit ahead and clear up this golem.
Yeah, speaking of the golem, the opposing team is doing exactly the same. Trying to take down the golem. Stun doesn't land on any of the members of Narval. And the only one actually pushing for Playing with Pain is Luvi. This golem is going down really, really fast. Actually, both golems going down relatively fast.
Yep, I really like what Playing with Pain has done here. They're doing what is a very, very standard strategy, but it is incredibly good, and people should incorporate it more into solo queues. So keep an eye on stuff like this. They took their easy camp, they left it until the golem was just before it got to their gate, so that the giants would help them kill the golem. It's very, very effective and very nice. But now, PPP have instantly had to rotate up to the top lane due to the fact that Narval did counter push. But Narval, good reactions here, already pulling back, playing it safe. Switch is possibly looking for a hook, but no one came through the watchtower range. Narval can, in fact, if they want to, go for their easy camp. Vipolino just missing Admiration here. Admiration getting a free shot off.
Yeah, and Admiration is just going to be falling back. As you might have seen as I was tabbing into the challenge for a little bit, Sashka in a lot of trouble. Oh, he's getting jumped upon. Beautiful grab there by Kerrigan, and now they're on to Dizzy. Dizzy, he has to get out of there alive, but there's not that much he can do other than just keep walking. Another grab by Kerrigan, but it doesn't pull him past the gate. And
oh,
Dizzy
good hook though. Pain taking your low shots
by Ramus. Now Pain is in a lot of trouble, and will be able to escape there.
Yep, Luvi once again giving Pain the speed boost with his shield dust. Incredible there. And Bribewing actually not taking Bribe on this map due to the fact that there's not that many camps, and just leaving the Bribe to Bakery, and instead taken shield dust, which increases the number of basic attacks blocked by the dust ability to 3, which has kept people like Pain alive multiple times this game already.
Yeah, but losing the Bribe means that the Siege Camp is now going over to the enemy team, and they can only pick up their own Siege Camp, but they can't immediately take the entirety of the Bruiser Camp. That's going to be a big thing that might happen between these two teams, as we're seeing that the team of Narval is now moving towards the bottom lane. Smart move here by them. They're heading towards these towers. They see Playing with Pain Space all in the top lane, and they're already taking down one of the towers. They're looking to actually go for the fort as well. Mines will open in 14 seconds, and Playing with Pain not showing any signs of going straight back to that bottom lane.
Yeah, Playing with Pain looks like they're just going to head into the mine through the top lane instead. And we may in fact see a fight. Mines are now open, and Narval once again getting a bit of a head start, gonna grab some free skulls. And PPP moving in, trying to get the fight again, but Narval once again playing it safe, and they are going to get a stronger golem. But Dizzy, however, does go down.
Yeah, by Noob immediately clearing everything out, and I like how they're using Dizzy every single time as a bait. They're just running circles around their opponents. They're getting the 57 skulls, and now they can just retreat. They can just go back and let the team of Playing with Pain Spain take the big golem. Oh, they're going for Bayanu. Bayanu in a lot of trouble. He's taking quite a bit of damage, and Zebo goes down. Now they're on to Shaka. Shaka trying to get Sashka actually trying to get out there, but he is going to fall as well. Admiration heading towards the top lane to try and deal some damage to the fountain here.
Yep, and this is a very nice strategy by Narval here, but this is not going to be something they can do forever. They can trade lives like for skulls like this in the early game, but in the late game this is going to end horribly thanks to the huge cooldowns on respawn timers. But they are able to get mercenaries out of it for now, so they're keeping themselves in the game like this because PvP are dominating in terms of kills, are doing a pretty good job in terms of buildings, already taking down the top stuff. But we are also seeing Narval doing a great job taking down both towers and gates in both the top and bottom lane of PvP.
Yeah, we're now looking a little bit at the bottom golem, but I'm expecting PvP to actually push in the top lane. And you can see how Narval is doing exactly the opposite of PvP, just going to be defending this one because they have a stronger golem. The hook doesn't quite land onto one of the members of PvP, and now they're going to try and clear out these golems. Nice shield there onto one of the fountains. That's going to keep them alive.
Yeah, Bakery once again taking the easy camp, and they're just going to leave their easy camp and their fort to try and take care of this golem. The fort will go down because of this, but it allows PvP to put some more pressure on and try and see if they can maybe pick off a member of Narval here, and they're actually going in. There's the nice route by Shashka. Looks like they're going in for the engage. Does Big Noob have his ultimate? If he does, he's not going to get to use it because he does get picked off thanks to the Maelstrom. Ultimate has been popped by Jella. Odin doing huge amounts of damage. Dizzy being dropped very low. You have left the game. You have DC'd, sir. Hello. Alright, well I'm going to continue casting. Techno has DC'd, but I will continue casting for my video. PvP do take that fight. They are able to take down the mid fort. Yep, there goes Techno. He is gone. But looks like we're going to see the rest of PPP continue to push this down, but their golem has now popped out. They're actually moving in, taking the watchtower. They may also look to try and steal this bruiser cap, but instead going to play it safe, going to move to this bot lane and go with their easy cap. They're still alive. They did lose this fort and take some damage to that tower, but they're still in a pretty good position. They're going to push all the way forward and see if they can take a second fort, which would put them much further ahead. There goes the mule, but that's not great positioning for it when there's so much AoE around, and it's going for the gate. For those who don't know, you can actually place the mule so that you can choose what building it does repair. Viperlido taking a lot of damage, but he's able to Angelic Flash out of there. There's the strafe from Vala, hitting absolutely no one, except for a tiny bit on together. There's a grenade as well. Bit late there, but still displaces Valor a bit. Puts the fear of death into her. Viperlido does get gorged, gets hooked and then gorged, being dragged back to what is left of the keep. Doesn't even take any damage. There is the Ancestral Spirit by Nazibo, and they are going to continue pushing up. Sintis tries to hook again, but it does not land. A PvP in full retreat now, thanks to that Ancestral Spirit. And Viperlido was thinking about bouncing up there, but that's not a good idea. It looks like PvP have escaped. They are now in their own territory thoroughly, and they are going to be able to play it safe and just save themselves here, back up, and stay alive. Right now, we are seeing Narval heading up to their top lane. They're going to try and do what PPP were doing and take a fort for free now that they have this easy camp with them. But here comes the rest of PPP ready for round 2. They are all here and pretty much at full health, and they are going full ham onto Remus. The Stitch is in the back. You're going to displace Geller there, but Dizzy is taking a lot of damage here. Geller with a huge amount of chase, doing so much damage. Bakery is there with him, and Geller does not give a crap about the zombie wall. Continuing to chase onto Dizzy. Dizzy being dropped very low. Geller also went quite low, but he's able to survive. Pops first aid and does survive. Sorry, she. But we are seeing Narval already heading into the mines, but this is the first time that they've actually had members down when the mines are open, and we're going to see PPP use that to their advantage. Going on to Remus here. Remus does pop his ultimate, but Bakery and Geller are going to be able to pick him off. Shrink Ray was used on Geller there, but that does not allow Tassadar to pick him off. Shashka also being forced to back up a bit. Doesn't really have anywhere he can go here. This is the first time they're going to lose the mines. And that's not ideal. They don't have much they can do, but they do take the top fort in exchange, and they're going to try and grab this mid-mercenaries. But like I said, this will be the first time that they are actually down for the they actually have a weaker golem. And PPP's golem already pushed up about as much as theirs is, minus a bit of tower damage. They really need to be dropping their mule here, second this golem spawns to do it. But now we're going to see Narval once again making a risky maneuver, possibly looking to try and steal the easy cap. Instead, they're moving up to Geller, but here's the rest of PPP coming out the mines just in time. That was a bad move. In comes Viperlido, and Shashka taking a lot of damage from Geller. In comes Bakery over the wall. There's the judgment onto BioNoob. He is pulling back. Viperlido does have the displacement on the smite there, and they're going straight onto BioNoob. BioNoob is gonna go down. Dizzy is also going down over here. He's gonna get locked down. Admiration gonna be able to vault out of there, but that was a huge move there for PPP. Admiration actually being chased down by Bakery. There's the slow from the Hammerang, and he is taken out. And Bakery and the rest of PPP now going to move up to the top lane and push with their golem. There is the mule. Tassadar was nowhere near in that fight, but now we're going to see PPP do as much damage as they can, and they will possibly get a keep here. 3 seconds till after. There's up 12 until Stitches. Valor not up for another 20 seconds. In the meantime, though, both of the lanes are pushing for PPP. We have Bruisers in the top lane, the Golem in the bot lane, but they will 100% get a keep for this, and if they can keep their keeps alive once they be back, once this is dead, then they're going to be in a good position. There, Bakery gets hooked, but he instantly dashes out of there. He is completely fine. They are pushing very aggro here. PPP gets BioNoob again. Geller doing a lot of damage. There's the strafe onto Viperlido. Does not kill him. He survives thanks to the heal from Luby. Bakery gets pulled again, but he's able to dash out. In comes Tyrael, going to try and take out no one apparently. Missed completely. Shashka goes down. Dizzy is rooted from the golem. He goes down, and that is GG. And we are going to see PPP moving on to the quarterfinals. The golem route clutch at the end there, taking down so many people. Almost going to get admiration here, but it's not going to be enough. We even saw Brightwing be back to defend against the golem. Oh no, she just beat for health and then teleported straight back in. But PPP, they are going to take down the core And we did actually see quite a lot of members die, but it is too late. PvP take down the core, and they will move on to the next round. Very well played by them. And very unfortunate my co-caster appears to have disconnected here. If I could stream myself, I would. But thank you for watching. I'm going to head to... hopefully you'll get the next game in VODs. If not, then, you know, that something happened. We weren't able to get back going again. But that is very unfortunate. So, hopefully see you in the next game.